in person and with others on Zoom. As you are comfortable, will you join me in prayer? Oh God, it is indeed good to be back in person today. We thank you for that opportunity. You lend your strength to all of us who are there in needing assistance during crisis, fear, and hurt. You give courage to the first responders who continue to do this important work they're called to do, looking beyond the risk for the sake of those who need your help and protection. We give you thanks for the many ways they give of themselves, their skills, knowledge, and help in troubling times. Protect them, O Lord. Extend your shielding hand over them and comfort their hearts when they are tired and heartbroken. And as Kiwanians and action clubbers who are with us today also, may we emulate the first responders and assist those we encounter who need our help and our protection. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, John. And Don's going to come up. Again, we are not doing singing for a couple of meetings, so we're going to, Don's going to lead us in a song, but again, singing is one of the things that the Reboot Committee recommended we don't do for this during this time period. So, Don?
Before we get into the song, a concern I have for the Ronald McDonald House. You're probably familiar with it. You know they collect the tabs. I hate to see all the tabs from the cans be thrown away. So if you'd all take your tabs off and give them to me afterwards, I'll make sure they get to the Ronald McDonald House. Okay. We're not supposed to sing today, so this is a great day for non-singers. However, I'm more than 6 feet away from almost everybody. I've had my shots, and so if you'll stand there with the hands over hearts, we're going to do God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Don. That was beautiful. And Eric's going to lead us in the pledge.
God, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And Sherry, thanks for sharing the flag for those at home. We're going to go ahead and get right into our program. So I'm going to ask Eddie Smith to come up and introduce our guests.
Hey, everybody. It's good to be back, and kind of a new thing, being on Zoom at the same time while we're recording live in person. Just want to introduce guests at our July 14th Kiwanis meeting. Kiwanians Jenny Lee, Walter Vance, Mike Lubman, and Kim Briggs will be hosting. Mark Davis of the Blue Ridge Independent Living Center. Phoenix Star Action Club members Robin Fouts, John Fouts, Mark Shelton, J.J. Harper, Jim Watkins, Gene Sherwood, and Jeff Schweiger. And then would like to introduce two more guests in John Grove, Kiwanian host Reggie Wood, and then the other guest is Kayla Henson, and Kiwanian host Clark Goodman. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Eddie, and welcome to all our guests. For our members, especially now that we're in person again, this is the time to start inviting guests to the meetings. Let's get back into that routine and try to spread the K, as Don Wilson would say, around, and also maybe we'll be able to recruit a few new members. So, and we have an item on the agenda to talk about that a little later. So one of the nice things about being president is you get to recognize individuals who have done great things for the club. And today we have 3 recognitions we want to do. Going to start off first by recognizing Kaylee Friedley. Kaylee is, I think maybe some of you know, is leaving Charter Hall. So she has ably assisted us the last few years, and especially during our Zoom and COVID attempts, and really done a great job. If you've presented during the time that we've been in Charter Hall, you know what a help Kaylee is to making sure the audiovisual works and the PowerPoint runs. And Michael Brockta, wherever he is, he can testify to Kaylee's technical skills there. She's done a great job for us, and she unfortunately is leaving the area, is moving to Chicago. Hopefully she'll be back. But we do have a little gift for her on her outgoing. So Kaylee. So. On behalf of the club, thank you very much. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. The past couple years have been a lot of fun, and it's been lovely having you guys each week come and have lunch with us, basically. It was really sad during COVID, and it messed up my schedule because I didn't see you guys every week. But we have a really amazing replacement for myself. We have Lindsay over here. Lindsay Talbot's going to be our new events manager, so she's going to be the new face that you see each week. Elliot will be here as well, so you're in very good hands. But I do appreciate the gift, and thank you guys so much. It's been lovely getting to know all of y'all. And normally I'm not the one in front of here. I like to be in the background, so I'm going to go back over there now. Thank you.
And Kaylee, I think we can probably provide you some contact information in Chicago for a Kiwanis club up there. So you've already been indoctrinated, so you know the drill. So next up, I want to recognize the Reboot Committee. I think you all know that during COVID, we had a kind of an ad hoc committee led by Jenny Lee and Reef Kessler. And a number of members participated on that on and off during the 15 months or so that we were Zooming. And the Reboot Committee did a number of things. They looked at all kind of issues related to COVID, kind of assessed risk, came up with guidelines, really just helped us out. And a number of the members provided their expertise in this area. So I want to invite Jenny Lee, who's one of the co-chairs of the committee, and Reef Kessler up for some recognition. And they are going to recognize some of the members of the committee.
So all of you can guess how I got to be right here today. At the May board meeting in 2020, some 6 weeks after the club had closed down, I raised the question, has anybody given any thought to how we're going to start the club operations again? Well, by the end of that meeting, Jenny and I were co-chairs of the committee to address that issue. And within about 48 hours, we had signed on a variety of other participants. So that's how I got to be here. You know, we dug right into this problem, and from the beginning tried to adopt certain guidelines to the committee's function. We wanted to keep in mind the safety of the most vulnerable of potential participants in club activities. We wanted to keep in mind and to follow local, state regulations and recommendations from the CDC. And we wanted to try to look at data in a scientific way. You may understand or be able to guess that there were disagreements about those points from within the committee and from some of you as well, which is a good thing. But the committee members dug right into this problem, and I would like to personally thank all of them for their participation and trying to, I think, quite honestly follow those guidelines. Jenny and I both hope that we've had our last reboot committee meeting. I mean, we really do. We can't think of anything that would be better than to see our club functioning here by September in the way that you remember it in January or February of 2020. I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. None of us do, but it is our sincere hope that it does. But assuming that it does and we don't meet again, Jenny's going to name the participants in the committee, and really, I would like to personally thank them, and I'm sure Jenny does too, for their earnest efforts over the last 15 months.
Thank you, and thank Reef. Originally, somehow I was asked to lead this effort, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of laughable, since I'm not only not a scientist, but not a physician. So I implored Reef to please co-chair this effort with me, and thank goodness he did. And along with Reef, we were very deliberate in trying to choose committee members who we knew would bring a lot of expertise and wisdom to the process, because it was not easy, and we did not like being the bad guys this whole 15 months, and we're delighted to be put out of business. Steve McGraw, John Montgomery, Michael Brockta, Dr. John Pendleton, and Dr. Bob Rutherford. Thank you all. Let's never do it again.
And again, thanks to Jenny and Reef. They did put a lot of time and research into these different topics and spent a fair amount on that. And I would be remiss to say that if you did not sign your updated COVID liability form on your way in today, they're at the desk. You can catch it on the way out. Another thing we have to do for Kiwanis International is make sure those have been updated and you have a current one. It is good for a year, so you only have to do it the one time. Next recognition is our Action Club. And I'd ask the Action Club members to come up, especially Robin Fouts and Eric Danielson, if you want to come up as well. Ken, you're welcome to join us if you wish. The Action Club, I think you all know, plays an integral part of our Kiwanis life, and especially at KPAD time. These guys just work really hard at KPAD and do a tremendous effort. I think it's fair to say we would not, come right up in here front. I think it's fair to say, you know, it would be hard to make KPAD work without all the assistance. They are there for setup. They help during the day, really just they sell tickets, really just do a great job. And I want to recognize Robin Fouts, the president of the club right now. And, yep, thank you. And as part of their efforts for KPAD, we do have a check for them for their help, part of the proceeds from KPAD. So, Eric, I'm going to ask you to hand that to Robin.
I'm happy to, President Mike. The Action Club folks are fantastic, and what they did at KPAD was really just save the day, and on top of all the other projects they help us with. So I'm happy to hand these to you, Robin. There's 2 checks for you to help keep you guys able to keep doing what you've been doing. So thank you very much.
So we have some announcements. If you have an announcement today, you're on the agenda to make an announcement, please kind of head up to the podium. I'm going to start. It's time for chip backpacks again. Kids are going to start heading back to school in August. And so this is kind of a save the date for us. Betsy Bohannon has ably chaired that last year. I think y'all know Betsy's kind of still a little bit under the weather from a surgery she had, and she has another surgery scheduled. So Joe Limber is going to assist Betsy, and he's going to do the some announcements and recruiting for, we need people to do the shopping, and we also need some folks to pack the backpacks for us. So Betsy's taking care of kind of some of the coordinating efforts with Chip and Walmart, and Joe's going to handle the some of the logistics. And again, we're going to have a great Chip backpack program. What we need you guys to do is help with some donations, help with the purchasing at Walmart, and then help with the packing. So starting next week, you'll see some flyers on the tables to sign up for those activities. And if you are joining us virtually, just put your name in the chat and we'll try to keep that in mind as well. So anyway, Chip backpack time again. It's a great effort that we do every year, and we're looking forward to again this year. So Kevin?
Thank you. Well, technical difficulties. Kevin Reeder, and along with Mike Obrochta and Leanne Lincoln-Hooker, I think is on our Zoom portion. For August, we have a great lineup of speakers to appeal to what we're calling the under 40-ish crowd. So we'd love to have that as an initiative to try and generate some more interest in the club and some potential new members. So we're asking anyone, obviously, who would like to invite an under 40-ish individual to one of those speakers in August. We'd be delighted to have them. And of course, you can always contact myself, Leanne, or even Mike for additional information on that. And I believe that we have we able to play that short video. Mike, as always, has used his considerable talents.
They don't hear it. Okay.
We're going to try to put together some social media.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. We're going to try to put together a few social media posts, including, I believe, that video. And I think that, Mike, that's your son, correct? Yeah. And so Mike's son is a budding star. So, well, again, please invite anybody that you can to our August speaker lineup. We'd love to have them. Thank you.
All right, Michael Obrochta here. I want to start by saying you all look better in person. And then I'm going to follow that by pointing out to you that our Environment Committee, which I now chair, is meeting on Monday. We've got a half a dozen projects in the works. I'd love for any or all of you to Zoom in with us. Contact me if you want the details. And speaking of Environment Committee, John Ewart has appointed me as the deliverer of this announcement. At the end of the announcement, I expect all of you to rush out and sign up for the Tinker Creek cleanup on August 7th. Not only are we cleaning up the Greenway under his leadership, we're sending some of you out in canoes and kayaks to clean up the waterway. It's going to be an absolutely marvelous event, of course. We'll go downstream as far as we can go. Some of you may come back. In keeping with the way we run these projects, we will have outsiders join us. In this case, we'll have some Boy Scouts from our local troop joining us for the event. Deadline for sign up is August 4th. John Ewart is the man you want to contact as soon as you get home. Thank you.
What's happening next? What do I have to do next?
I'm Tom Montgomery. I wanted to say, first of all, Lee Osborne came up to the table and found a parking receipt. Is it yours, Lindsay? This is your lucky day. This is sort of like the 50-50. Glad to have you here, Lindsay. What a dramatic entrance that was. Seriously, I'm here on behalf of we used to call the district convention and now is the ELC, Education and Leadership Conference Committee. We've been meeting regularly for about a year, and we're pleased to say that in sight. We're pleased to say the response has been really good. Ads that we've talked about, we're oversubscribed. They're like, gosh, don't take any more ads. No, no one ever says that. We'll take some more ads. In fact, those of you that still want to get in the advertising book, the program, can commit by this week. Friday is the cutoff, but we have 22 advertisements, which is more than we can find in any book that we've looked back at the last 25 years that are in my personal collection in my garage, along with the badges and the 100th anniversary books and a bunch of receipts and a few other things that Joyce probably wishes weren't there. On a serious note, again, what I want to say is that we want to subscribe to the attendance at the education conference like we have the advertising. Our club is the premier club in the Capital District. We're not only the largest in terms of membership, and Mike will be telling you more about that either today or next meeting, but we're also the best, we think, in terms of quality. I mean, to be able to pull this off today is a good example of what the Kiwanis Club of Roanoke does. I can tell you I'm proud to be a member, and I know most of you are too. So we would like for you to attend at least a portion of the conference. It's August 20th to 22nd. It's pretty easy to register. There is a fee to register, and the meals cost a little bit, but we've put a lot into the program. We've got some excellent speakers, some excellent educational opportunities. It's a bargain when you consider what you can get out of it. But take a look at the website. It's very easy to Google Capital District Kiwanis, and under events is the Education and Leadership Conference, which is a month out. It's at Hotel Roanoke. It runs from Friday night till Sunday morning. You don't have to go to all of it, but you do have to pay a registration fee and then per meal. So it's more economical if you're so inclined to register for the whole weekend. Some people are even spending the night here in Roanoke, make it sort of a, getting out and about like people are doing. You could do that. The prices are attractive for the Hotel Roanoke. The quality of the speakers is excellent, and the work we've put into having some ancillary events, Jackie and Ben Spiker and Mike McAvoy, Donna Lynch, a number of others are part of the committee to make it worthwhile. So take a look at the website, consider registering, and those of you who have placed advertising in the program, thanks very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Carter. It's good to be back and feeding you guys again. I'm up here to talk about the installation dinner that we're having in September for Clark. He has put in his request to do a low country boil. But to do this, we're going to need some turkey fryers. So I'm asking again, I'll keep asking until we need at least 4 of them. More than what we have so we can cook. So if anybody has a turkey fry, propane one, please let me know. We would love to use it that night. It's going to be a Hawaiian theme. It's going to be a lot of fun. Clark, I think, has got some goodies up his sleeve that he wants to do. So it's going to be a good time. But to be able to pull this off, I need help with some turkey fryers. So just let me know. Just email me or even let me know one of these if you got one. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Don Witt, Lieutenant Governor for Division 15, and I'm up here peddling Ducky Derby tickets, if you will. One of the great gifts that we give to this community and the children of our community is funding for the ICU, the Carilions neonatal ICU unit. The money for these Ducky Derby tickets go actually to 9 neonatal units throughout the district, of which Carillion is one of them. Tickets, you could win up $750, $500, or $250. or a host of other smaller prizes. But the important thing is you're supporting this neonatal issues. Actually, Sherry and Mike won last year, I think. And tickets are $5 for one ticket, $3 for 10 tickets, and a special bargain, if you buy 6 tickets for $20, I'll fill out the forms for you. And that's a deal, if you will. And those of you who are on the Zoom, you can chat your contribution, and again, I'll fill out your forms for you. Thank you and send the money, and John will take your money, won't you? Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant to Governor Don. And again, buy your Ducky Derby tickets. People do win. I won last year. So let's see. I understand some people at home are having a little trouble hearing. So again, bear with us. If you're on Zoom, we're working those technical issues out. I'm proud to say we have some time for brag bucks today. And Ken Briggs is going to start us off. Sheila's going to come up and do one, I think. And Eric's got a brag buck. So you guys come on up. And Ken?
Thank you, President Mike. When the Action Club came up, you noticed some Kiwanians kind of tagged along with them, Mike Loveman, Walter Vance, and Jenny Lee. 4 of us serve as Kiwanis advisors to the Action Club, and what a joy that is for us. Like our Kiwanis Club, our Action Club kind of shut down for 15, 16 months, but we are back together now. We meet each Monday for what we call Clubhouse at the Blue Ridge Independent Living Center from 9:30 till 1 o'clock. Usually we Kiwanians rotate. One of us is there each Monday, and we usually show up just in time for lunch, which is a good thing. But I could take quite a bit of time in bragging on our Action Club. We are back together. Let me mention tonight we're going to the Salem Red Sox, and we got a luxury suite, compliments of Kiwanians Steve Bowery and Don Wilson. So we're looking forward to that. But I did mention briefly the Blue Ridge Independent Living Center, organization out on Williamson Road. And since our Action Club was formed 11 years ago, the Blue Ridge Independent Living Center has provided us with a space to meet at no charge, no rent. About a year ago, one of the founders of our Action Club, Juanita Thornton, resigned from the leadership. She's the glue that held us together. And with Juanita's retirement, Blue Ridge Independent Living Center has stepped up and taken our Action Club under their wing as a part of their ministry. And they've appointed an outstanding man, Mark Davis, to be the coordinator. For over a year, a lot of it virtual, we've had a chance to work with Mark. Mark, please stand and accept our thanks for what you do. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sheila Umberger, and I just want to start by saying I'm so thrilled to be here today because I joined during COVID, and so this is the first meeting I've been in person where I'm actually a member. So I said, yeah. I would say you all are the most amazing group I've been around, so I'm really thrilled to be a member. But I wanted to bring to attention today, I put some flyers on the table. It's a National Roanoke Community Beautification Day. And to kind of put it in perspective, it's the second year it's been done. And it's under the umbrella of the Veterans, of the VASH stands for Veterans Affordable Senior Housing and Charities Program. And it's taking place on the National Community Beautification Day. It's going to be this year between 14th Street, between Grayson and Stanton Street, across from Eureka Park. We became involved with it because I work at the library and we have a branch at Williamson Road. But I would like a shout out to both Stephanie Moon and Mayor Lee, who have been really instrumental in this project as well. So the goal of it is to assist seniors and families at risk and to revitalize neighborhoods. So you're going to see a lot of landscaping. but there's a fun component to it. You can sign up for volunteer perks. So I was thinking, we really ought to use this because like a place where you can actually sign up for perks. But also one of the things they're going to do, if you know the electric slide, there's a dance contest with money. so it's not all just landscaping. But anyway, I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention because it really is a good community event. And I just wanted to give a shout out. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm back at the microphone again. John Bradshaw and I put together a movie, a really cool movie, and I'd like to show you the trailer to that movie right now. So I'm stalling time right here for Past President Sherry as she finds the right clip. I'm gonna hit the technology here. So you know that John Bradshaw won the auction where he bought Emily and Lois to pick up poop in his yard. Yeah, and so it was such a thing, we made a movie about it. We'd like to show you someday.
In a world where community service is a way of life and fundraising reaches new heights, two awesome women lead the way to Kiwanis glory. Even a DJ celebrates a scoop deer. When controversy, surprises, and thrills await super movers. Maggie, we got poo.
Now, how do I get out of this?
So that's just the trailer. The movie is a little over 16 minutes long. Longest movie I made, but it is fun and it moves pretty quick, and so I hope to show it to you soon someday.
Thank you, Eric. And John, thanks for coming up with a creative idea. Again, John won that part of the auction, and Lois and Emily, I think it's fair to say, did not know that they were actually going to have a nice party being thrown in their name when they got over to John's house. So John, well done on that one. Did want to mention on behalf of Sherry, she's trying to manage the technology for us. The Readers Today, Leaders Tomorrow Committee has a number of activities coming up in the next couple of weeks. They're listed in the newsletter, or contact Sherry if you want some details. So, good, okay. All right, I think we are ready for our program. So I'm going to turn it over to Steve McGraw to introduce our recipients today. Steve?
Thank you, President Mike. After 15 months of Zooming, I'm so glad to be here fully clothed, ready to take on the world. I'm still not loud enough? My Lord. Okay, whoa. I'm not going to kiss it. Thank you anyway, Jenny. So what we're so happy to be doing today is returning to these live meetings, and what better group of people to recognize, especially after the past 15 or 18 months, than our first responders. I think there is no better group. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I've also got to look. All right, first responders, you got to, if you talk, you got to talk into this, and you got to look at that. All right. Ugh. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I thought getting fully dressed was bad enough today. 6 years ago, this club began to recognize first responders, and when I asked them to do that, before the board voted to do it, it had already been decided that it was going to happen. In addition to the fact that we do this every quarter for all 4 departments in Roanoke City and Roanoke County, our ServPro friends said we want to pay for all their lunches. So we have here today Clark Goodman's boss, Kayla Henson. Kayla, please stand up, from ServPro. ServPro also augments our annual KPAD fundraiser with a $5,000 donation. Clark will be our next president in October. Thank you. Now, our committee consists of Jackie Bledsoe, Clark Goodman, one more time, Dan Carnes, and I. And we take great joy in putting this program together every 3 months because, especially first responders, we can never thank you enough. And we're certainly trying to do that here again, beginning today on a quarterly basis. Our first recipient will be a man who I pestered for 15 months of COVID because my office is one of those that could not shut down and never did. Had thousands of people that we worked with in person for the past 15 months. And so every time someone coughed, sneezed, or looked to the left or right too sharply, I would call Robert Malk. Robert, would you please come up? Robert may not be here. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a full invitation, and I thought he was here. Okay. Regardless, maybe he was tired of me. I was calling Robert on Sunday mornings, Friday nights, holidays, and asking him his advice on how to handle a COVID situation in my office, and every office in Roanoke County was depending on Robert Malk to do this. Robert is a deputy fire marshal, and he served over the past 15 months as the County of Roanoke medical unit leader through the COVID pandemic. Robert had worked closely with the physicians from the Department of Health to ensure our return to work protocols met the change in standards related to the spread of COVID. Robert's responsibility encompassed the testing procedures and making recommendations to sustain a county workforce during this pandemic. Robert took on these extra duties while all along maintaining his duties as deputy fire marshal. The medical control unit was paramount in keeping county departments operational and guiding personnel during a time of uncertainty. Please join with me in thanking Robert Malk for what he did for Roanoke County. All right, let me see if I can do better on this one. Is Captain Crouch here? Oh, no. Well, there's got to be some glitches, I guess, our first meeting back. Excuse me. What's that? Yes, sir. Good. Thank heavens. In the city of Roanoke, we had, in a very similar role to that of Robert Malk, Captain Jason Crouch. Captain Crouch played an integral part in the department's response to COVID-19. Jason played an active role in adjusting EMS protocols to meet the ever-changing guidelines put in place by the Center for Disease Control for patient care, as well as recommendations set forth by the Virginia Department of Health and the Department of Operational Medical Director. In addition, Jason Crouch helped to spearhead engineered procedures such as the mini isolation tent to continue providing patient care adequately while also providing a safe space for our providers in the back of the ambulance. The captain acted as our medical point of contact for the media when the public had questions about COVID-19, the department's newest medical procedures, etc. Jason stepped up to be interviewed by the news media or share information on our social media pages to help explain the processes in place. Roanoke Fire EMS is thankful for the leadership Captain Crouch displays daily, but want to recognize him for stepping up to fill in where we needed help the most during the pandemic. Please give an applause to Captain Crouch. Ben Spiker. I saw Ben Spiker here. Come on now. There he is. Thank heavens. Ben will recognize our next first responder.
trying to catch up. I'm going to speak louder. I'm going to recognize today Officer J.C. O'Brien. J.C. O'Brien, are you here today? Thank heavens, J.C. O'Brien is here today. Could you come forward, please? On May 1st, 2021, at 13:38 hours, that's 1:38 for the rest of us, Officer J.C. O'Brien observed a black Toyota sedan with an expired inspection from 2020, as well as no front tag, in the parking lot of Roanoke Tobacco and Grocery Store on Colonial Avenue. The subjects around the vehicle appeared to watch Officer O'Brien very closely as he drove by. Several minutes later, Officer J.C. O'Brien observed that same black Toyota driving down Brambleton Avenue in the area of Manassas Drive, while behind the vehicle, the rear passenger, identified as Evan Bingham, looked back at Officer O'Brien and then began making furtive movements between the front seats and the floorboard behind the passenger seat. Due to the suspicious nature of the rear passenger, Officer O'Brien ran the license plates to the vehicle. The license plate came back stolen from Roanoke City. He then initiated his emergency equipment, which I think are lights. But the vehicle continued on for several blocks before finally stopping that time prior to the stop. Evan again was making furtive movements, similar to what he observed prior to initiating his emergency equipment. Upon stopping, Officer O'Brien used excellent officer safety by advising all occupants to raise their hands up in the air and not move around. The subjects in the front seat complied, but Evan kept his hands down and continuing to move around, reaching in the back seat area. Once another officer arrived on the scene, Officer O'Brien began his investigation into the stolen license plates and Evan's suspicious behavior. All subjects were removed from the vehicle and a pat-down was performed for weapons after all parties agreed to step out of the vehicle and advising they had no weapons. As the passenger stepped out, Officer O'Brien observed her drop illegal narcotics onto the floorboard of the vehicle. Upon searching the vehicle, Officer O'Brien located the second stolen license plate in the glove box, additional narcotics believed to be crystal meth and heroin, a cut-off catalytic converter laying where Evan was making furtive movements, a digital scale, and a syringe. All items were taken and placed in the evidence vault, with the drugs being sent off to the lab for charges pending the lab results. Officer O'Brien used excellent officer safety throughout the stop, did an excellent job identifying in his report that he was aware of the numerous bulletins and calls for service relating to the theft of catalytic converters from roll call and emails he observed the days and weeks prior. This led him questioning Evan, not just the illegal narcotics, but about inquiring where the catalytic converter came from. I give you Officer O'Brien. Now, we have to come back over here. Come back over here. I'm sorry, I forgot about the camera. My apologies. Here's a check and a certificate if you'd like to make a comment. You have to look into that camera and speak very closely into this thing.
Got it. Hello, everyone. I have to apologize up front. I conveniently lost most of my voice last night into this morning. But I'd just like to thank my supervisors and the command staff for just recognizing this case and incident. Sometimes things, go our way, and this was one of those. We're able to get a little bit of narcotics off the street and keep everybody a little bit safer, and in the process help Roanoke City solve a case, so that's always nice. But I appreciate y'all having me here today and presenting me with this award, and thanks for a good barbecue sandwich.
Thank you, Officer O'Brien. Steve?
Howard, besides Chief Hall from Roanoke City Police, who else is here from Roanoke County? Sorry, Roanoke County Police. Who else is here? Okay, great. Thank you, both of you, for being here too. Jackie Bledsoe, come on down.
Speaking this and look at that. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is really great to be back. It's just kind of surreal. And what is wonderful is I get the opportunity to read all of these awards before they're presented because I do all of the certificates. I'm in constant awe of just the risks that these gentlemen take every day. And I'm sure there's other officers that do the same. This is just the creme de la creme. So we're just really pleased to have you guys here. And it's wonderful to resume our recognition of the officers every quarter. And it's my honor to recognize Detective P.H. Delp. And on Saturday, April the 3rd, 2021, patrol officers responded to the 800 block of Queen Avenue, where they located 2 adult females, both of whom had serious injuries from gunshot wounds. Officers arrested the suspect, Tashawn Dixon, after a brief foot pursuit and transported him to the Criminal Investigations Unit. Detective Delp responded for the investigation and interviewed Dixon regarding this incident. And before I continue, Detective Delp, come down, please. Where are you? Oh, I didn't see you come. Come around. Stand beside me here. Yes. After Dixon confessed to injuring the 2 women on Queen Avenue, Detective Delp then began asking Dixon about his involvement in the homicide of Breonna Stevens, which occurred on Christmas Day 2020. Dixon had been a suspect in this case since the day of the incident. Although significant progress had been made in the investigation, the results of forensic and digital evidence had not been returned and charges had not been obtained. During the interview, Detective Delp worked through the false statements from Dixon by maintaining a calm demeanor and pointing out the inaccuracies in his statements. By the conclusion of the interview, which lasted more than 2 hours, Dixon had confessed to the murder of Breonna Stevens. He was able to provide intricate details of the crime, which had not been shared to anyone outside of the immediate investigation. On Monday, April the 5th, 2021, the case was presented to the grand jury and indictments were returned to Dixon for first-degree murder and use of a firearm in the commission of a felony. Detective Delp is commended for his exemplary work on this case, which resulted in the arrest of a violent offender who was a suspect in multiple violent crimes in the city of Roanoke. His dedication and professionalism are in keeping with the highest standards of the Roanoke Police Department and reflect his commitment to the city of Roanoke and the community he serves. This is why we have nominated him to receive this Kiwanis Award.
I just want to thank you for this award and for everything that you guys do for the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will turn it back over to President Mike.
Thank you, Steve, and thanks to our friends from law enforcement for being here today, and great work on behalf of the community. A couple items that just before we conclude today. First, in deference to our visitor today, we did not. Okay. In deference to our visitors today, we decided to be fully dressed, and however, a number of members suggested that maybe a good way to kind of welcome back everyone to in-person meetings would be possibly a kind of a Zoom type meeting in person where you're dressed in the upper part and maybe casual below. That does require pants because it's not no pants. So We thought maybe we'd try that next week at a little more of a casual meeting. So please come dressed appropriately next week. And also to celebrate us getting back together, next Wednesday, we're trying to put together a little happy hour, and we'll get you some more details on that. But we thought it'd be nice to get everyone together outside the meeting. Start video. You ready? Okay. Eric has a video for us. Okay. Sherry, you ready? Okay. So while Sherry's looking for it, anyway, we're going to try to do something a little fun next week. Marie Mudeman is our speaker next week with Family Promise of Roanoke. And so she is always a delight to hear from. So looking forward to that. Also, Sheila Umberger brought up a good point, which I think there's several of you in the room where you joined during COVID, and this is your first in-person meeting. So if this is your first meeting in person as a Kiwanian, please stand and be recognized. So, Mr. Mayor, I know that's you. Yep. Great. Great, and welcome. I think John may have some swag for you. Here's some T-shirts and things if you haven't already been able to pick that up. So see him after the meeting today. And let's see, Sherry, we're going to be able to make that work or try it next week? You ready? Yeah. So while Sherry's getting that running, I think most of you all know that most of you all know that Lyerberger Construction was our winner for the Star, the Roanoke Star. We auctioned that off as part of KPAD this year, and we had an unveiling last Friday morning up at Mill Mountain, and it was great to see Sam Jr. and Sam 3 up there in front of the plaque that's been dedicated up there. They get the Star for the year, get the rights to say they own the Star for the year. I'd be remiss to say on behalf of our friends from the city, there is real no value to that other than get to say you get the claim to own the Star for the year. It has not actually been.
There's a new temporary owner of Roanoke's landmark Star. The Mill Mountain Star has been auctioned. Well, the Roanoke Star has a brand new owner. The Kiwanis Club of Roanoke auctioned off the landmark to raise money for community projects and scholarships. Lyerberger Construction had the winning bid.
We have an agreement with the city to do this annually. We're looking forward to continuing that relationship.
The highest bidder coming in at over $1,000, purchasing the rights to the Star for the year.
So my thanks to Lyerberger Construction. I think you all know that that's a multi-generation company that's been in the Roanoke Valley for many years. Has built many of the buildings that you see here in the valley, and just is a wonderful company and a great supporter of Kiwanis, and especially the Roanoke Kiwanis Club. And they have it for the next year. We're going to auction the Star off again in KPAD for 2022. So if you would like to be the owner, maybe talk to Sam about some bidding strategy, possibly. I don't know. So, okay. I think we have let's see, a minute or two. We're ahead of schedule. So, does anybody have anything else before we adjourn? Okay. I know for everybody at home, we had a little technical problems that we're watching on Zoom, so we're going to try to iron those out. Otherwise, looking forward to see everybody next week, somewhat dressed, and we are adjourned.